and welcome to Housing TV News at the top of the hour, coming to you from our studios in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Fortune Omorui. Our top stories. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu urges greater tax compliance to drive infrastructure development. Bandits kill school vice principal, Abduct WAEC candidates in Kogi. Umahi gives Abuja-Lokoja road contractors 72 hours deadline. And on the foreign scene, US revokes over 600 visas in crackdown on birth tourism fraud. Now the news in detail. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has urged Nigerians to improve tax compliance, stressing that sustainable infrastructure development depends on citizens and businesses contributing to government revenue. Speaking through Vice President Kashim Shettima at the commissioning of Arterial Road No. 5 in Abuja, Tinubu said tax payments are essential for funding roads, bridges, schools, hospitals, and other public projects under the administration's Renewed Hope agenda. The president described the newly completed road as a strategic investment that will improve connectivity, reduce traffic congestion, and stimulate economic growth within the Federal Capital Territory. He emphasized that greater tax compliance would strengthen the government's ability to finance development projects without relying excessively on borrowing, while assuring citizens of transparency and accountability in the use of public funds. Meanwhile, NDC presidential candidate Peter Obi questioned why increased government revenue has not translated into improved living standards, citing rising debts and declining GDP per capita. At the same time, the Central Bank of Nigeria reported improved business confidence in May 2026, although inflation remains a major concern for households and businesses across the country. Awo-Omamma and neighboring communities have praised the Imo State government and the Heartland Hospitals Management Corporation for improving healthcare services at the Mother and Child Hospital in Awo-Omamma, Oru East local government area. The facility has witnessed increased patronage as more people seek quality medical care. The 100-bed specialist hospital established to provide maternal and child health care services offers modern facilities including operating theaters, intensive care units, laboratories, diagnostic centers, and emergency response equipment. Residents described the hospital as a major boost to healthcare delivery, particularly for women and children. Many community members commended Governor Hope Uzodinma and HHMC for their commitment to strengthening the health sector through improved infrastructure, modern medical equipment, and better healthcare management. They expressed optimism that the facility would continue to improve health outcomes and reduce maternal and infant mortality across the state. The federal government has launched a new grant program aimed at strengthening mineral exploration, research, and value addition in Nigeria's mining sector. The initiative, known as Early Stage Mineral Exploration in Nigeria, or EMERGE, will be implemented through the Solid Mineral Development Fund. Speaking at the launch in Abuja, the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, Harry Dele Alake, said the program is designed to provide financial support for mineral exploration, processing technology, and research activities across the country. Alake explained that the initiative forms part of the government's efforts to ensure that Nigeria's mineral resources are processed locally rather than exported in their raw form. He noted that the program would also provide structured business support to encourage greater private sector investment in the mining industry. According to the minister, EMERGE will help generate reliable geological data on priority minerals, improve investment opportunities, and promote local processing that retains more value within the country. Earlier, the Executive Secretary of the SMDF, Fatima Shikafai, described the program as a major step in the federal government's mining sector reform agenda. She said the grant would support exploration, research, and mineral processing while helping to attract investment and unlock the full potential of Nigerian solid mineral resources. Residents of Iluke Binu community in Kogi State have been thrown into mourning following an attack by suspected bandits that left the vice principal of government secondary school Iluke dead and several students abducted. The victim, identified as Gani Anifowose, was reportedly killed. Reports also indicate that students from 3 communities who were preparing to sit for the West African Senior School Certificate Examination English language paper were kidnapped by the attackers. The incident has heightened fear over the safety of students, teachers, and residents in the vulnerable communities. Community leaders have appealed to security agencies to intensify efforts to restore peace and secure the release of the abducted victims. Meanwhile, panic spread across Minna, Niger State after rumors of an impending bandit attack caused many students to leave their schools before closing hours. However, the Niger State Police Command dismissed the report, stating that no schools were attacked and urged the public to disregard the false information. In Edo State, the government has temporarily shut down 3 public secondary schools in Akoko Edo local government area over security concerns linked to a reported kidnapping threat. Authorities assured that students sitting for ongoing WAEC examinations would be allowed access to their examination centers under strict security arrangements. The Lagos State Police Command has arrested a 22-year-old suspected armed robber and cultist Odeshola Afiz following complaints from residents about his alleged criminal activities. Police said Afiz was apprehended after reports that he had been harassing members of the public and causing fear within the community. A search conducted on the suspect led to the recovery of a locally made pistol, a cartridge, and suspected charms. According to the police, preliminary investigations revealed that the suspect is a notorious cultist who had allegedly been terrorizing residents and evading arrest before his capture. Commissioner of Police Tijani Fatai commended the officers involved and reaffirmed the command's commitment to tackling cultism, armed robbery, and other violent crimes. Meanwhile, the Niger State Police Command has dismissed the report claiming that hoodlums attacked schools in Boso, Bakungu, Sabon-Wuse, and Lambata areas of the state. Police spokesperson Wasiu Abiodun said investigations and visits to the affected schools confirmed that no such attacks occurred. The command described the report as false and misleading, urging residents to disregard it. Police authorities have also launched an investigation to identify those responsible for spreading the rumor, while continuing efforts to strengthen security around schools across the state. We take a pause here, and up next are news stories from the big sector. Do stay with us.
Are you getting ready for another big one? The largest housing show in Africa. 2 decades of relentless exhibition and conference. The 20th edition of the Africa International Housing Show, happening from the 13th to 18th of July 2026 at the prestigious Transcorp Hilton Hotel, Abuja, Nigeria. This premier event is Africa's largest housing and construction expo, attracting over 50,000 attendees in Africa and beyond, thereby giving room for developers, construction giants, financiers, home interiors, mortgage and microfinance banks, drawing from about 21 different countries of the world. Get ready to be part of history.
Glad to know you are still with us. You are watching Housing TV News at the hour. Now to the build sector. Minister of Works David Umahi has given contractors handling sections of the Abuja-Lokoja Highway Rehabilitation Project 72 hours to return to site and accelerate work or face sanctions. The directive followed an inspection of the ongoing projects along the corridor, where the minister expressed dissatisfaction with the pace of work despite funds already released by the federal government. He warned that contractors who fail to comply could face contract reviews, termination, or referral to relevant authorities. Umahi stressed that delays on critical infrastructure projects increase transportation costs, create hardship for commuters, and negatively affect economic productivity. He therefore directed contractors to immediately deploy equipment, manpower, and construction materials to their project site. Describing the Abuja-Lokoja road as one of Nigeria's most strategic transport corridors, the minister noted that the highway connects the Federal Capital Territory to major commercial centers across the country and plays a vital role in the movement of people, agricultural produce, petroleum products, and other goods. He added that the successful rehabilitation of the road would improve logistics, reduce travel time and transportation costs, boost economic activities, and stimulate investment, housing development, and business growth along the corridor. The Securities and Exchange Commission has reaffirmed the importance of capital market reforms in driving economic growth and providing long-term financing for critical sectors such as housing, infrastructure, and industrial development. Speaking at an industry engagement, the Director General of SEC, Dr. Motimi Agama, represented by Executive Commissioner Sami Ajayi, said a strong and efficient capital market is essential for attracting investment and supporting Nigeria's economic transformation. Ajayi noted that capital markets offer government and private sector operations access to long-term funding for major projects, unlike traditional bank loans that are often short-term. He said deeper capital markets would help bridge Nigeria's infrastructure gap and support sustainable development. According to him, ongoing SEC reforms are focused on improving transparency, investor protection, and market efficiency to boost confidence among local and foreign investors. He added that strong regulation and corporate governance are key to attracting long-term investment capital. The Commission also emphasized the benefits of capital market development for the housing sector, noting that instruments such as real estate investments, trust, infrastructure bonds, and mortgage-backed structures could increase funding for residential and commercial projects while supporting broader economic development and job creation. The Commission also emphasized the benefits of capital market development for the housing sector, noting that instruments such as real estate investment trusts, infrastructure bonds, and mortgage-backed securities could increase funding for residential and commercial projects while supporting broader economic diversification and job creation. And now we move on to the foreign scene. The United States government has revoked more than 600 visas as part of a major crackdown on birth tourism schemes used by foreigners seeking U.S. citizenship for their children. In a statement posted on social media, the U.S. Department of State said the action is aimed at protecting the integrity of American citizen laws. The department stressed that visitor visas must not be used primarily for the purpose of giving birth in the United States. According to the department, more than 100 visas were revoked in West Africa after authorities uncovered a network that allegedly used fraudulent documents and visa agents to secure travel approvals for birth tourism. Investigators also identified over 400 suspected cases linked to at least 6 companies operating in Europe. The firms were accused of coaching applicants for visa interviews, arranging accommodation in the United States, and coordinating childbirth plans. In North Africa, more than 100 additional visas were revoked following similar investigations. U.S. authorities said several fraud networks have been dismantled and some individuals involved have been permanently barred from entering the country. We take another pause here, and up next are news stories from the business sector and sports news. Just stay with us.
I'm Debbie Erb. I'm the founder of DLE Advisors, LLC. I just finished a really interesting session talking with the audience here at the International Housing Show. I have attended the show before, and I have to say it's bigger. It's bigger and better than it was 4 years ago. An incredible array of opportunities, companies, and new innovations in the housing space. So it's very exciting to be here. Thank you, Festus Adebayo. He's my guy. It's so well attended, and there's so many people here that I know who are movers and shakers in the industry. So I definitely recommend attending if you possibly can.
I am Ada Fong, the former Deputy Director of Housing from the Hong Kong Housing Authority. I think it's a very interesting housing show and conference that brings together a lot of experts and talents and government officials in Africa to explore the subject of housing in Africa. It's a very worthwhile initiative that you do it once every year.
My name is Adeola Olushodo. I'm the Executive Director, Lagos State Development and Property Corporation. I'm here at the Abuja International Housing Show 2025, and this is a show that brings all the experts and all the major players in the real estate sector together. I must commend the efforts that goes into that, the consistency, and everybody looks forward to it, and of course it's well attended.
My name is Dr. Mark Mahaku Joshua. I am the Director General Taraba Geography Information Service. I got an invitation to attend, and I saw things like land reform. So my priority here is to interact with experts in the field, gain more knowledge on how things are done as far as land reform is concerned. The organizers of this event has done well. I at least expect the caliber of people I've seen here. Seeing the people that I've seen here, they have sent out a signal to me that it is not a child's play. We're here that really Nigerian main business to organize such a show.
My name is Surveyor Abduct, the Surveyor General of the Federation. I want to really say it's a good program. This is the 19th edition of it. I want to say a good thumb up to the organizers of the program and to Nigeria in general. Hosting such an event is not something that comes easy. It comes with a lot of innovation on its own, like the team says, and it comes with a lot of experienced organizers. So I want to say a big thank you for those people that come all the way from far and near to come and be part of this organization.
Hello, I'm Maya Abdel Hamid, the CEO of the Social Housing and Mortgage Finance Fund in Egypt. This is my first visit to Nigeria and Abuja in specific. I've been invited to this housing show. This is my first visit to Nigeria. I've had a good chance to meet with all the Nigerian officials as well as the African ministers and delegations. I think the presentation helped a lot and giving insights to those attending. I also benefited from hearing other experiences from the experts from across the continent and the international experts as well.
My name is Roland Benoba, and this is the Roland Benoba Real Foundation for Housing and Urban Development. Shout out to IHS. You guys are doing a great job. This is the 19th edition, and I think it's just going to keep getting better and better and better. Kudos to the team at AIHS.
Many thanks for staying with us. You're still watching the news at the hour. And moving to the business sector, Nigeria is pursuing an ambitious renewable energy agenda with plans to achieve 209,000 megawatts of installed solar power capacity by 2050. A report by IIR indicates that 53 large-scale solar projects worth about $11 billion are currently underway across the country. The projects are expected to strengthen electricity supply, attract investment, and support Nigerians' long-term energy transition goals. Growing interest in the renewable energy sector is also driving increased solar development nationwide. To boost rural electrification, the federal government, through the Rural Electrification Agency, is redeploying over 1,300 solar mini-grid and off-grid systems. The program is supported by $750 million in public funding and is expected to attract an additional $1.1 billion from private investors. REA Managing Director Abba Aliyu described the initiative as one of the world's largest publicly funded renewable energy projects. He said the government is positioning renewable energy as a key solution to Nigerians' electricity challenges. According to the Global Sector Council, Nigeria added 803 megawatts of solar capacity in 2025, bringing total installed capacity to about 1,019 megawatts. The government aims to increase renewable energy's share of the power mix to 30% by 2030 and 82% by 2050, with solar expected to drive much of that growth. The African Continental Free Trade Area has projected that intra-African trade will rise to $250 billion this year, representing a 14% increase from the $220 billion recorded in 2025. Speaking at the Invest Lagos 3.0 conference, AfCFTA Secretary General Wamkele Mene said 50 African countries are now implementing the trade agreement, creating stronger opportunities for regional integration and cross-border commerce. Mene urged African nations to strengthen trade within the continent amid growing global economic uncertainties. He noted that many countries are losing market share in traditional exports. Destinations and facing increasing trade barriers, making a stronger African market more important than ever. He identified that trade finance costs, poor transport infrastructure, logistic bottlenecks and restrictions on the movement of people as major obstacles to trade growth. He also called for wilder adoption of visa-free and visa-on-arrival policies to facilitate business and investment across the continent. And moving on to the sports scene, as the 2026 FIFA World Cup begins in the United States, Canada and Mexico, many Nigerians are expressing disappointment over the Super Eagles' absence from the tournament from the second consecutive edition. Despite the expansion of the competition to 48 teams and increased qualification slots for Africa, Nigeria failed to secure a place at the tournament. For many fans at home and in the diaspora, the absence has dashed long-held plans to support the team on football's biggest stage. Beyond the emotional disappointment, Nigeria's failure to qualify has also affected businesses and content creators who typically benefit from the excitement surrounding major football tournaments. Some football influencers say sponsorship opportunities and brand partnerships have declined due to the team's absence. Analysts have linked the qualification failure to inconsistent performances, coaching instability, and administrative challenges within Nigerian football. Former Super Eagles stars John Obi Mikel and Sunday Olise have both called for reforms, warning that continued failures could damage the country's football reputation and development. The impact is also expected to be felt by viewing centers, hotels, bars, and other businesses that usually enjoy increased patronage during World Cup tournaments. While fans remain hopeful that the current team can bounce back and qualify for the 2030 World Cup, many say this year's competition will not feel the same without Nigeria. FIFA has defended its tickets pricing and visa processes ahead of the start of the 2026 World Cup, which kicks off today in Mexico. The tournament, jointly hosted by the United States, Mexico, and Canada, is expected to generate a record $13 billion in revenue, but has faced criticism over high ticket costs and visa-related issues affecting some officials and fans. Speaking in Mexico City, FIFA President Gianni Infantino said ticket prices remain competitive, noting that entry-level tickets were available from $60. Also addressed concerns over the denial of entry to Somali referee Omar obtained by U.S. authorities, saying immigration decisions were beyond FIFA's control. Infantino further praised Donald Trump for supporting the tournament's organization in the United States. And that's all we can take for now on the news at the hour. But before we go, here's a recap of the top stories. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu urges greater tax compliance to drive infrastructure development. Bandits kill school vice principal, adopt WAEC candidates in Kogi. Umahi gives Abuja-Lokoja road contractors 72 hours deadline. And on the foreign scene, US revokes over 600 visas in crackdown on birth tourism. For more news in the housing sector, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Housing TV Africa. Follow us on all our social media platforms. You can also download the Housing TV mobile app and the free TV app on your Google Play Store to stay connected. Many thanks for watching. I am Fortune Omori. Bye for now.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts on Facebook, Housing TV Africa, on Twitter, Housing TV Africa, Instagram, Housing TV Africa. Join the conversation and keep up with latest housing updates.